I'm at a payphone trying to go home. All of my change I spent on you.
Good afternoon, Miss Brittany McLaren. Well, we are here with Miss Brittany McLaren. She is a sociologist and an anthropologist. She came to Peru as a volunteer of the Peace Corps. Well, now we are going to start with the questions. The first question is, what do you do in Peru, and since when are you here?
I am a volunteer of the Peace Corps in the United States. I'm here in Peru to work with the youth of Santiago de Chico in La Libertad, and I work with UHEL, with tutoria, and I work in the schools, the high schools, to motivate youth to become leaders in their community, to become involved in volunteerism in their community, and to help develop youth in Santiago de Chico. And I arrived in June of 2012.
I need you, boo. I gotta see you, boo.
What is the most noticeable difference you perceive or that somehow has affected you between the culture of your country and the one here?
One of the most noticeable differences is that the Peruvian culture is much more affectionate. In America, we only shake hands when we greet each other, but in Peru, they kiss on the cheeks. It's very different here with that. We're very standoffish. Also, family here is very, very close. In America, it's important, but it's not as important here. It's not the main base of your whole entire life. Also, something that I've had a lot of challenges with is Peruvian punctuality. There's been many occasions where I have waited 45 minutes to an hour for someone, and then they just never show up. And I've been out in the cold, freezing. And so that's been a huge challenge for me in adapting to Peruvian culture, is the punctuality.
It's all over the world tonight. Said the heart's all over the world.
Will you imagine will be?
More or less. I knew it would be very different than my own culture because I've done a lot of traveling in my time, and but I didn't know exactly how it would be. I imagined it would be similar to Mexican culture, which I'm pretty familiar with, just being from Los Angeles and being close to Mexico. So in that sense, but there's been some surprises to me, but overall, yeah, it's pretty much, yeah, I knew it would be different, and it has been so.
What factors contribute to you having difficulty adapting to Peruvian culture?
The main factor for me is the language, because before coming to Peru in June of this year, I didn't speak any Spanish. I only knew one word, La Playa. I didn't know anything else. People would ask me questions of, what is your name, ¿Cómo te llamas? And I would say, La Playa. And they were very confused. So I've had a lot of problems with the language. Just at times I feel kind of childish because my language skill is like I'm 4 years old. So I want to talk to people, but it's very hard for me because I don't have the skills to do it. And then other than that, it's just trying to adapt to a new family. Living with the family, I think, is awesome, but at the same time, it's hard. You know, you have to find how their lifestyle is and match that with your own lifestyle, so it's kind of a delicate balance between that. So at times that's, oh, I'm sorry, I waved during the interview.
No problem.
Okay. But so that's been a challenge sometimes, but overall it's been a really good experience. And then just being away from my culture, being away from people being on time, being away from the businesses being open from 8 in the morning till 5, because here everything's closed from like 1 to 3, and that's very strange for me. So just the little differences has been really like challenging for me. It's been exciting at the same time, but very challenging.
Do you remember some anecdote that happened?
See, yes. One recently happened this last week. I was on the radio in Santiago de Chuco, and I was talking about my work here, and I was trying to say thank you, Santiago, for having me, but I accidentally made a sexual innuendo and said something to the effect of thank you for having me in a sexual manner. And so everyone was laughing at me, and now everyone who heard the radio station makes fun of me in the street.
Well, to finish with this interview, what do you suggest us to improve our international perception?
For me, I would suggest, I don't know, just for me, the punctuality thing really bothers me. Just because I've had to wait in the freezing cold for an hour, like 3 or 4 times. So I think in terms of international relations with other companies and trying to strengthen your economy, I think that would be really important to improve upon. But I think there are also a lot of great qualities of Peru, the rich cultural heritage, and the many destinations within Peru. So I would just advertise that more to the outside world and really advertise the culture here, the rich culture, and I would keep more true to the culture, because I know it's easy for some places to want to be like America, to want to be like Europe and be westernized, but I think Peru has something very rich here that they need to embrace more and share with the world, rather than try and be like the rest of the world. So that would be my recommendation.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for your time.
And thank you for your help.
You're welcome, it's been a pleasure.